What does manhood mean to you?
Oh wow, that's such a deep question, but I do appreciate it. So for me, a lot of my core anchor, or just core being, comes from a lesson that I actually learned in the military, or a mantra that I learned in the military. But the concept of honor, courage, commitment.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited to bring this brother to you today. He is a leader in civic engagement spanning across both public and private sectors. And he also likes to make sure he keeps his mind body balance thing going on. He just came from a yoga class. So let me introduce him, Mr. Dyshaun Hines. Hey, Dyshaun.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me, Bao. It's an honor to be here. Yes, even after the yoga class. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And thank you so much for being here. And so, Dyshaun, as you know, we are talking today as to really bust open a narrowly defined and myopic view of Black manhood. I spoke to another brother who put it so eloquently that 95% of the brothers in the world are doing their thing and doing it well. And 5% or less than 5% are the ones who get 95% of the coverage in the world, right? And so we want to shift that narrative and open up some minds, and potentially for a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models to come in and see this repository of the same 6 questions answered by well over 100 men, and perhaps find guidance there. And for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, to be able to come in and have our thoughts, our perceptions of who Black men are to be expanded and widened. And so I'm so glad that you're here to participate and contribute to this repository. And we're going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Oh wow, that's such a deep question, but I do appreciate it. So for me, a lot of my core anchor, or just core being, comes from a lesson that I actually learned in the military, or a mantra that I learned in the military. But the concept of honor, courage, commitment, and it's the idea of literally just being honorable in the things that you do. So that's a level of trustworthiness, and giving it true and sincere intent. Courage to try. It's not just about being bold or aggressive, but trying your best, and trying your best to see things through when you begin any type of mission or project or goal. And courage, commitment to that probably ties into seeing it through, but also just being upstanding, being reliable, being there for friends and family, being there for yourself. So for me, I would say maybe those are my 3 pillars that I like to construct my manhood around.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. So, Dyshaun, who and or what is important to you?
Oh wow! So my family, family is very much first. I'm very much from, let's say, is one of those stereotypical families of, my mother led the household, and I had strong women, aunts, cousins, both older and younger, who were very much a force in raising me and guiding me. And I'm also, from my mother and father, I'm the firstborn, so I'm an older brother, and I'm an older cousin. So a lot of my motivation has very much been around those family members that believe in me, look up to me, and support me. So that's what it's all about. Sorry, I'm actually outside, and in Miami, the planes fly very low, so you get to hear it. But again, back to that family and my core community. That's very much what's important to me, and the driving force behind a lot of what I do.
Awesome. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much. And don't worry about the planes.
Thank you.
You're in Miami. When you're in Miami, don't worry about the planes. So,
that's right.
And so, Dyshaun, how do you want us to see you?
I would like to be seen as a regular person, just a person out in the world trying to do good where I can, someone who gives effort, works hard, plays hard sometimes, but, someone that's just a part of the collective. I'm very much a we, us type of person. It's all about community. But I will say that, as a Black male, and I stand at 6'3", and my name is Dyshaun. I often find myself in situations where I get seen as this tall Black guy named Dyshaun, where I'm like, no, but I'm just a regular person. At the end of the day, no more, no less than anyone else. So that's it. I like to be seen as one of the collective and a pillar in the community.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, Dyshaun, what is your epic dream?
Another fascinating and great questions here. I love it. But epic dream would be to see my community thrive, to see our community thrive. Right now, one of the biggest things on my mind and some of the catalyst behind some of my work is just this very true concept of inequality in our communities. I'm a North Philly resident. I also like to say I'm true North Philly. I was born in Temple Hospital. I graduated from Temple University. So looking at North Philly as a microcosm of, or a micro example of, other communities of color around this country and around the world. That's my goal, to see our communities thrive, to achieve equality, and for each of us have the ability to be regular people and pursue goals and dreams like everyone else.
That's awesome. And TU, anyway.
TU, that's right.
Awesome. Oh shoot, I forgot what question I was on. I was so busy focusing.
It's the planes. It's the Miami planes. I'm sorry about that.
I'm so sorry. Did I ask you? I asked you what your epic dream was, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's what it's about. That the epic dream is for all of us to be able to make mistakes, be normal, and keep it rolling.
Yes, and keep it rolling. No judgment. And right. I don't edit. So this is going to be in there too. My flubbing and all. So, and thank you for rolling with me. So, question 5. Mr. Dyshaun Hines, who are you?
I am me, and I am him. I'm to quote Snoop Dogg, right? But I am. I feel like I'm an amalgam of life experiences. So I mentioned earlier, I had a military experience. I have the North Philly experience. The what else is it? The college experience, the public-private sector experience. So I like to think that, I'm a walking, talking ball of experiences. And it goes to that concept of I know a little about a lot. So, that's who I am. I constantly say to myself, for me, moments in life and experiences in life tends to be just chapters in a book. So maybe that's a way to illustrate it. I'm a yet to be fully written book that's out here still creating the chapters.
That is beautiful. What a beautiful way of saying that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give you credit the first time I say it, but after that, like all bets are off. I'm just joking. But that was awesome. That was awesome.
I appreciate that so much.
Excellent.
I promise you, this is all a freestyle. I didn't practice.
This is great. I mean, that's the whole point of this. This is all freestyling. It's our lives. We are freestyling our lives. We don't get a chance really to practice our lives day by day, right? We get to practice some things, but the living part happens in real time, which I'm really grateful for. And so that brings us to question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
All right. So this is one of those questions where I probably should have practiced, but, I don't think you missed much, to be honest. And hopefully that's not a letdown, but I do feel like your questions gave an opportunity to be real and to capture, maybe a little spirit. So I guess in lieu of, a missing question, I'll just ramble a little bit, but I will say, I'm a startup founder, which may be a little unique, but it also speaks to a difficult road that a lot of Black men may find themselves going down. As stats say that, Black founders receive 1% of all investment funding, and I'm very much living that in real time. So, maybe just offering some thoughts around the idea of, despite the world and the stats sometimes not being in our favor, I think it's worth it to try to go out there and try to achieve dreams, but to also find comfort in knowing that you can't accomplish everything. Some things will be a failure. Some things will be a letdown. Some people will get in the way. But there's plenty of moments where you see success and you see achievement, and you find yourself in places that many people in your communities don't get a chance to experience, or many people in your family before you didn't get a chance to experience. So I don't know if I was just adding an extra 2 cents out there. I would just say be fearless, do your best, and that's all anyone can ask. And watch out for planes in Miami. That's the ongoing joke here.
That is awesome. And that is amazing. As a founder, I certainly understand those statistics. And I think it is great advice, because there are very few of us who are entrepreneurs. And yet our segment, both on the male and the female side, both sides of the gender, if you will, are some of the fastest growing entrepreneurial sector of the entrepreneur sector. And yet we don't receive the same kind of funding or investments. And yet we are still doing it. And yet we are still here. And yet it is our resilience, if you will, or although we learned when we were in New Orleans that resilience is not necessarily the word that we want to necessarily use, but it is our perseverance, knowing that there is a goal in sight, and that we need to keep moving forward towards that goal. I like to see it as problem solving. And if there's a problem that we are, as Darius Daniel says, uniquely agitated for, then we can't rest until that problem is solved, or at least we're starting to address that problem. And so I am so grateful to hear you say that. So your 2 cents were worth more than 2 cents, my brother. Let me just tell you that, worth more than 2 cents. And so I'm so grateful. I remember, so we were on a plane, didn't know who you was. It was it was late September 2022 on a plane. We landed in Detroit, and I remember watching you, because it was a crowded plane and was one of those sections where you got on the plane. Actually, we hadn't gotten to Detroit yet. We were getting on to Philly, and you had to put your bag one place while you sat someplace else. And I remember watching how serene you were. And I was like, look at this brother. Because this is really interesting, because the people around you at the time, as I recall, weren't the warmest people. And I just remember, like, not quite shuffling, but, some heavy breathing, like you were doing something that you weren't supposed to do, like put your bag up in an overhead bin. And I just remember thinking, and I remember praying in that moment, like, God bless this brother, whoever he is. And then we got off the plane, and then we got to the site, and there you were. We were in the same conference. And I remember saying, I saw you on the plane. You were like,
It's funny that you say that, because like, I'm like, I remember this. I remember it like so clearly. And I remember you approaching me after, because, one, I appreciate the compliments. I really, really do. And I do appreciate you approaching me after that moment, because, it was, whatever was going on that plane, it was something that was frustrating, and I felt energy around me that wasn't comfortable. And it was a mental battle to just be like, look, like, I can only do the best I can, and, not cause a ruckus, and, stay calm. And also, to the point that I said, I'm 6'3", so I recognize most people tend to notice me, because I tend to stand out. So all of these things I'm very self-conscious about. And I honestly do remember, like, your words being so comforting after, because it was one of those moments where I was just so much in my headspace and trying to deal with it the best that I could. And it was just, very, very nice and comforting and warm to be acknowledged in the way that you did. So thank you, Val. Look at how time brings us full circle.
Right, full circle. And I'm so glad, like, a whole year passed, and here we are. We were in New Orleans as a part of the Greater Philadelphia Leadership Exchange. And I'm so grateful for that too, right? To see, again, to see you operate and to be in a community of leaders, and to be a leader in leaders, or of leaders, if you will, is so important. And yeah, like, I do see you, my brother, and you stand out for who you are, not just the body that you are in, right? And there's a difference. And so that's what I saw, and I continue to see it. So I honor you, my king. I pray that your epic dream comes true in every way. And I'm just so grateful for your presence. And I'm so grateful that you had a chat with me today and contributed to this repository. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you as well. But Val, I will say, for all your listeners, you didn't tell me that you were going to try to make me cry today. But I'm holding it all in, but all the feel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And stay right there, because I want to thank the audience. Thank you for joining us today. I do hope that you really enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there is a positive Black man in your life that you want to see highlighted in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio and fill out the nomination form, and we will take it from there. We are well over 100 men. We are continuing one brother at a time, busting open this myopic narrative and shining a light on an amazing community that many people don't see, but many of us know is right around us. And so if there's a successful and positive Black man in your life, please feel free. I always say success is not what a brother does for a living. I really don't care what he does for a living, as long as it's legal and positive. Because you do know that something could be legal and still not necessarily be positive. So let me just add that. Legal and positive. As long as it's that, I really don't care. I really care more about the impact that the brother is having on the community around him, starting with the nuclear family and going out to the community writ large and everyone in between. Those are the brothers that we want to contribute to this repository. And so please stay tuned next week for yet another amazing king. And in the meantime, please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Dyshaun, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you also. Cheers.